potatoes. Okay, potato day. I was gonna do this 2 weeks ago, but it rained a lot by surprise. And so here we are with potatoes that are a little bit sprouty, but they're gonna be okay. I marked all the rows last night, and here's my rig all set up. Transplanter wheel on the Dragon, water ready to go, backstock potatoes in the back. This is one of the more exciting things going on around here, at least exciting to me. I built this over the last week or two, and this is the first time I can really try it out in the field. There's a whole video about the build for this thing I put up just before this video, and it is very cool. Tracked machine, controlled with your feet, plant with your hands, water from the tank, water wheel marking and dropping water. Being able to plant while driving all by yourself is something I've wanted to do for a long time, so I'm really excited. So I got 7,000 potato pieces to plant. We'll see how long this takes. Yowza, that's a lot of potatoes, but I got it all done. I'd say by the end when I got going, I was about 1,000 plants an hour or something, which isn't any faster than planting on hands and knees, but man, this is a lot easier. Here they all are, and now that I've got them all in the ground, I've got to cover these trenches up. Okay, well that was pretty quick work of covering up. A lot of work. Getting the trenches laid, potatoes in the ground, and then there they are. Good luck, little potatoes underground. We'll see you in 3 to 6 months. So it's starting to look a little more like a farm around here. Here's the garlic. You can see how much that grew since just a few weeks ago. I mean, it's a real plant now. Here's some more plants. The onions. They are teeny weeny, but they're gonna grow. Nice and cute. And then all this is about to turn into the first cucumbers and squash and tomato rows. It's going to rain in a couple hours, which is going to be great for those newly planted potatoes over here. But I'm hoping to get a bit of field work done before it rains so that I can get the first squash and cucumbers in the ground later this week, and the tomatoes too. Just a quick walk around for now. I've got to get back on the tractor before it starts to rain. This big field of cover crop is going to get divided up into the blocks for the different vegetables, and it'll start looking like, you know, we're farming stuff. Okay, I mowed. I ran that giant curly shank cultivator thing from a bit ago through. Now I'm on to spading. The spader has a relatively gentle action as far as it goes, but still it's the most aggressive tillage tool I've got. Also really slow to operate at about 1 mile an hour, so I won't bore you with too much more of it. Rain's holding off so far though, although it's out there. Okay, peppers, onions, cabbage, squash, cucumbers, tomatoes, potatoes. It's all tilled up, and it's windy, and the rain is coming in. There's one more pass I want to try to make, and we'll see if anything else but that happens. That's all the critical stuff before rain. It's not just that it all won't go on and get wet. The ground is perfect moisture conditions for tillage right now, and if it rains, I will be delayed for, I don't know, 5 or 7 days, or maybe it rains again, and then longer delays until it dries out enough to work up and get rows laid out. So I'm glad for this. I'm gonna do a little more. Okay, and we're done. Starting to rain, and presumably only getting worse. Pepper ground ready over there. Squash ground ready over here. Squash is gonna go all this way to the south and meet up with cucumbers, which is the next section. I'll lay plastic for this as soon as it dries out again next week, but I got all the heavy tractor work done so that it doesn't need to be quite as dry in order to get the next steps with the littler tractor laid out. And cucumbers meeting up with tomatoes over here. And then the potatoes. Tomatoes and potatoes, of course, in the same crop family, so they're next to each other. So that's what got done today. There was lots more I would have loved to get done, but that's always the case. I'm pretty happy with what happened so far. Okay, it's a couple days later. It rained a bunch that night, but now it's dried out again because it's been pretty hot. And I'm using the new plastic laying tractor with the most revolutionary new design that I've ever built, and also one of the hardest to make. You can see the clearances here are about nothing, but there's a cultivator underneath, there's the plastic layer in the rear, and there's this spreader up front made out of milk jugs. Normally I would use 3 tractors with 3 different implements, spreader, cultivator, then the plastic layer, with 3 equipment changes, and now it's all in one tractor. This is the best. So here I go spreading the row next to the one I already laid. Oh, that is so cool. And turn right around and start off with the plastic layer. Well, lots of mowing happened today, but there's one more thing I'm trying to get to, and guess what? Some actual plants going in the actual ground. These are the first tomatoes. There'll be 5 whole plantings of tomatoes when we're done with it. These are the very first ones. They look beautiful, nice and green. So I'm going to put them in the plastic I laid yesterday. Got to soak them with water and got the transplanting rig set up. Then I'll get to it. And well, guess what? It's raining quite a bit, but not a problem for me under my tarp. The benefits of this thing just keep multiplying. And the operation is a little clunky, but if you can see the old normal system and the old machinery, I think you'd appreciate it too. Okay, not the most delightful device to operate, but sure beats hands and knees. And look at that! The first of the summer crops in the ground is an actual plant. These tomatoes were germinated about 6 weeks ago, mid-March, and we'll see the tomatoes from them in about 10 weeks in early July. So a bit of a wait, but here's the summer on its way. Well, there's what happened in April. Although, let's be real here, most of this happened just in the last week when it got warm and sunny and dry and ground ready for tilling and plants ready for planting. Still, the first vegetables are going to come in late June, a little while from now, and lots to do before then, but we are off and running.